Welcome to Wine Chats with Billy and Lindsay,
where we drink wine and chat life.
Hi, Linny.
Bill, we survived.
You took the words out of my mouth. We survived.
Alfred did not blow us away.
He did not.
We survived his wrath.
We did, yes.
So we're going to talk about that.
Let's.
Because, I mean, even though we live in Queensland, we aren't like up north Queensland where they're used to hurricanes, cyclones, whatever you want to call them.
And Lindsay has not actually explained that for those of us maybe who are tuning in who didn't realize Alfred.
Yes.
Was it Alfred?
Yes.
Oh, duh. Alfred was a cyclone that was heading to Brisbane.
I just said that.
No, you said right. So like if you were just tuning in and you literally had no context, like let's say somebody's listening in 2 years' time and going, what the fuck is Alfred? People, Alfred.
But I said how like we don't live up north that they get the cyclones and
yeah, but why put two and two together when you can just put a whole sentence together?
Let's
drink first.
So we're going to talk about our experience. Yes, but first we're going to have box. We're going to have some box.
Get your box on.
Oh, whoa.
In a can.
In a can. Delicious. First of all, can you talk about our beautiful new setup while I'm popping this?
Honestly, I don't like saying nice things about Lindsay in front of Lindsay. But can we just give a bit of a round of applause that she can't hear for this new setup that we have? Like she has gotten everything that you see here. Like if you watched our episodes last week, if you haven't, go back and watch it, please. Just to see the studio set up even. Cheers.
Cheers, babes.
We've basically been trying to move down into this office for since the beginning of the year, right?
Yeah, we spoke about it initially last year, but it was just way too hard.
Yeah.
We're in Cameron's office. We had other furniture here. It just wasn't going to work.
Now, do you mean that Cameron is in our office now?
Absolutely. Kimmy, please move your stuff. He's on that side that you cannot see any of his stuff. We're on this side.
I don't know what you're talking about. There is no that side.
Other side. Yeah.
No, seriously. But like she has then she had a vision and I feel like she you made it.
It's
beautiful.
If we had endless amounts of money,
which we will.
One day we will, it would be different. But I worked with what we had.
Yeah, totally.
And I think it's super cute for what we have right now.
Absolutely. And I love it way better than the chairs last week. Like I think they were a bit dark, right? And obviously we didn't have look, she has a little side table. I have a little plant that I must water.
It's fake.
Well, then I should probably stop watering it. Awkward. There's water everywhere now. So anyway, I love what we've done. I love that we've had a change. Change is always so good, isn't it?
We need change. We've been sitting on my couch for far too long. Yeah. Anyways, we're down here. You still may see some changes coming along. Who knows? We don't know.
We don't know. Yeah.
But exactly. But in the meantime, it's great.
And I love it. Thank you, Linny.
That's okay. And I like sitting in a chair. The couch is fine, but I like sitting in a chair too. It's nice to switch it up.
But this is like a little couch chair. To be honest, it's so comfortable.
It's like one of the sling chairs. Thank you, Kmart.
It is, seriously.
You know the sling chairs underneath it, it's a sling. Anyways, if not,
I wonder if Kmart will sponsor us because they should.
Absolutely.
We're a walking advertisement for them.
I mean, everything from here is from Kmart. except
for the road mics.
But yeah, except the actual equipment. No joke.
Totally, seriously. Anyway.
So here we are. Okay. We're drinking box.
Cheers.
Not licking box.
Juice.
Drinking box.
It's a juice. Alcoholic juice.
Yeah.
Don't lick box. That's so weird. Gross. I was so late to that party, but I'm disgusted by you, Lindsay, and impressed. Cyclone Alfred was heading straight for Brisbane. Mm-hmm. This is an event that they said was like a once in a generation event. It was like the last time something like this happened was like 50 years ago or something.
No, 71 years ago.
Oh,
it was 1954.
Wasn't it Cyclone Tracy or something that everybody was
I don't know the name, but it was 1954, 71 years ago that there was an equivalent storm.
Yeah.
Something? Yeah.
Do we want to cut the long story short because it kind of fizzled out a little bit?
Well, no, like I think yes,
to us.
Yeah.
Because obviously there was other places around like Queensland that got fucked.
Yeah.
Like there was floods, there was fucking power out.
Well,
like a lot of people struggle. And still, you're right. Yeah. We happen to have been very lucky, like spoiler alert, but we were totally fine.
We survived.
And we had no real problems. Like my biggest concern personally was losing power and having like water either contaminated or just stopped. Can you lose water? I don't know what happens. Like, why were we all filling up bathtubs?
Well, in case the water had to be shut off for whatever reason, or if the plant went kapooey or something, they say, and actual like proper cyclone hurricane experts say to fill up your bathtub, because then you can flush your toilets.
Yes.
And or boil something on the stove, like water or whatever.
Yes.
Or have
and
a
then
sponge
drinking
bath.
water. You'd need drinking water too. So we were all saving all out, like every bottle of water. Well, every bottle I had in my house was filled with water. I just had water everywhere. I had in my sink, I had a pot of water as well in case I need to wash the dishes. I don't fucking know. I don't know. And every single day I was like doing my laundry diligently and putting everything away just so I don't get stuck with like a stinky house all week long.
Because you don't know if the power went out plus the water, you just don't know.
You don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Can I just interject it for a second here? Because Brisbane was like in huge, not panic mode. We definitely were not panicking. We were preparing. That is a huge difference, okay? Keep that in mind.
Yes.
Plus, a lot of people like on socials and like whatever, you heard people blah, blah, blah. Brisbane doesn't get cyclones, okay? So yes, the people up in far north Queensland, they're used to them. They have categories 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, a gazillion.
Apparently they have cyclone parties in Cairns.
I'm sure they do, because that's what happens up there.
Yeah.
Brisbane does not. So on some socials, people are making fun of us. You can make fun of us all you want. That's fine.
I had clean water, so you make fun of me all you want.
But it's better to be, but what's the saying? 100%. It's better to be over-prepared than under-prepared.
Better safe than sorry. Like pick and choose, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say that, because I kind of was getting a little perturbed when I'd see stuff on socials, because I'm like, bitch, please. Especially when you have children.
Yes.
You need to prepare to keep these children alive.
And watered. And fed. Because again, how do you prepare for something you don't, like when you've never had that experience? This was my thing. Like I just didn't know what to prepare for. Yeah. I was a little bit dramatic about it, because to me, I'm like, oh my God, like my mum and dad went through like disaster when they were young. How did they prepare for this with their kids? Like I knew that I would be okay in the sense that we're not in a flood zone. The worst thing that could happen to us is we would lose power and our water might be contaminated, which is the only thing I was really preparing for.
Or you don't know about, like, if the winds came through at the like top notch that they could have, you don't know how your house would have held up.
True. But I just assumed like that, the worst of it could be, but like you're absolutely right. We don't know what a cyclone looks like. So we had, thankfully, I think this is what I loved about it as well, like the community spirit that came together. Like, was your neighborhood like all nice to each other? Oh. What?
I mean, we didn't.
Really?
No.
Oh my God. I had my neighbor. I was, Lindsay and I, we should release just our voice notes from the cyclone period. Because there was just like a million voice notes to each other. Just to each other.
Oh my God. Are you alive? Are you okay? What have you done today?
Yeah.
Don't forget to do this. Oh, have you done this?
Do I have enough cheese?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, fuck.
Don't buy cheese. If your fridge goes
stupid,
out. Anyways.
Totally. But I had my neighbor come over at one point and he was like, look, because we moved our trampoline to like the side of the house so it doesn't like fucking fly away.
Yeah.
And then he was like, you should probably fasten that down. He was like, are you like planning on fastening? I'm like, no, Brad, I'm not planning on fastening shit down. And bless his cotton socks, he comes around and he like pins everything down for me.
Yeah.
Like Henry was in his office working, so he was sort of absent for that part of it. But yeah, he came around, he fastened my trampoline, which is still fastened. I will probably have to undo that. Yeah. Brad never came back to get it fixed up.
Brad.
Like, come on, Brad.
Do you know what you're supposed to do with your trampoline though? You're actually supposed to flip it over.
Of course you are. You're supposed to put it all, take it. But I wasn't going to do that. That's taking the whole trampoline apart, which is what your husband did.
No, he didn't take it all apart. Just the side netting.
That's enough for me.
No, the netting's easy. Well, that's not the hard part.
We have neighbors across from us that also had a giant ass trampoline, but they're from Cairns.
Okay.
And so they were like, this is what you do. So they got their tent ropes and fastened it down into the ground like you would a tent, right?
Yeah. But it can still, they say, because I saw it actually on socials, a proper video of how to disassemble your trampoline. I saw that
too and I just ignored it.
Yeah, and it said like literally put it upside down because then the wind can't go under it and lift it up.
Yes.
Because if the winds are strong enough, even if it's tied down, the fucking cyclones take off roofs of your houses. It's that tent peg is not going to hold it in place.
If I'm perfectly honest, we are needing a bit of a house right now anyway. And so we were like, if the trampoline happens to go into that side of the house, like,
wouldn't that be good for you guys?
Oh no. And so when Brad came around and he was like, well, because I don't want the insurance company to hear and I don't know.
Amy, don't listen.
Literally, like when Brad came around, he was like, do you want me to do that for you? I'm like, I mean, do you fucking have to? Like,
do it really loose, Brad.
Can you just like do it so you feel better? But then like my house still gets, anyway, nothing happened. We were all fine. Long story again short. Yeah. It really, by the time it got to us, it just was like one night maybe a day or two of like super windiness, and then just a ton of rain.
Well, it was funny because I was obsessed to the news like the 3-ish days leading up to it. Like obsessed. I had Channel 7 on the whole time. And it was my like cyclone Bible, like what to expect when, blah, blah, blah. So it was supposed to hit the whatever morning, the days have all jumbled together.
All blended.
Let's say Saturday. Was it Saturday morning? Was it supposed to hit? Saturday morning.
Well, that's another thing. They kept moving it. It was supposed to be like Thursday and then Saturday and then this and then that.
Yes, they definitely. But when I went to bed Friday night, it was supposed to hit early Saturday morning, like around 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. So I'm like, okay, fine. And then I woke up around midnight, 12:30 to the wind woke me up. My windows were shaking. Like, I'm like, oh my God, if this is what's happening now, it is going to be so fucking scary tomorrow.
So true. Yeah.
So when I woke up, it was like 10 to 6 and I was like, quick, run, turn the news on, see what's happening.
Yeah.
And then it had fucking fizzled away. And I was like, oh, so when I woke up at midnight, that was Alfred. Alfie came early.
Yeah. But then he kind of came back a little bit. Do you feel like that same day, or was it like later that day, the rain really started to come in and then the wind started to come in too? Remember?
The wind, literally it was about 20 hours later for where I was, where the winds picked up and I was like, holy crap, how is it still so windy?
Yeah.
Like almost 24 hours later.
Yeah.
Like it was really patchy. Like
I don't know.
It was very odd,
The
wasn't
point
it?
being, it wasn't that one big fuck off storm that we kind of expected to come through.
No.
But we were prepared.
We were prepared. Can you tell the people about your coffee trick that you saw on TikTok?
Yes. Oh my God. How much? We're going to go to a break soon, but let me just take you.
You've got time. Tell the people. It's a.
Oh, well, I will tell you about this coffee trick.
you
This is
have to tell them.
probably the best. If you are cyclone preparing 2 years away from this episode that we're recording today and you are listening, listen up. This is the only tip you need to know about. And we did it differently. We had a discussion about who does it, how do you do it. But anyway, the point was to prepare your coffee and freeze it, so you don't have to worry about whether you'll have coffee or whether you'll have power, whether you'll have water. Fucking pre-freeze your coffees.
Yeah.
So then there was the video that I ended up posting on our socials and sending to Lindsay was these, those giant silicone ice cubes that Lindsay filled just like espresso coffee, just like the coffee, and then she froze those cubes so she can make iced coffees, which I think is an amazing idea.
Amazing.
I did my whole thing like with the milk, with my collagen in there, with my like sugar in there. I whipped up the whole thing and I froze a bunch of like ready-made coffee so I could just warm it up and drink it.
Yeah.
Genius.
I don't think yours is as genius as mine.
Well, it all depends on how you like your coffee, because I don't think I want my iced coffee. Like I don't want my coffee to be iced.
But
like,
you
I
could
want my coffee like I want.
But you could have heated up the espresso shot.
I know, but then I have to heat my milk up and I have to add my collagen in myself. Stupid.
And I don't know if you can freeze collagen. Would it still have its impact?
Too bad. It's happening.
I'm just wanting to be like, I'm right.
It's already happened.
But it's a great idea. And I said because my husband laughed at me when I was doing it. And I'm like, I'm not making you any ice cube
100%. You're laughing at me. No, thank you. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can make your own coffee. I'm going to do it. Like it's coming into fall, winter here. So probably not as much now, but for in the summertime, because I love homemade iced coffees.
Yeah.
It's such a genius idea. Even just when you have power, people. Because like my idea was like, I just put the ice cube of the espresso in the cup. You pour your milk over top, your syrup. It like genius.
Genius.
Anyways,
honestly. I could not be smarter.
So much. Can we just go back to how the storm fizzled?
Yes.
And when I say fizzle, I don't want to be insulting to the people that still don't have power and like massive floods.
Fizzled for us.
Fizzled for us storm-wise. There was still a huge amount of damage and people, I feel really bad for them because thank God I've never had to deal with the flood. I would not cope at all. But secretly, I was waiting for the storm. Like I wanted the storm to hit because I've never experienced a hurricane, cyclone, hurricane, cyclone, whatever you want to say. I've never experienced one. And I wanted to hear and feel the wind that people talk about. Not like standing in the street.
Being an idiot about it.
Being an idiot. Yeah. But like everyone talks about how loud the wind is.
Yes.
I really wanted to experience it.
I wanted to experience it a little bit as well.
Yeah, I was a bit bummed.
Just to like experience it.
Totally.
And I kind of feel like after all that preparing, you kind of like, again, like I don't want anything bad to happen. Not to us, not to anyone. It wasn't about that. But it was more about like I've prepared, we've expected, we've been waiting. And now it's like...
It was just windy. And I sat down with my kids and said like, look, it's going to be super noisy.
Yes.
Just be prepared. Don't freak out. It's fine. They all slept through it.
Oh, of course they did. Same.
They did not even hear the wind when it was the windiest during the night.
We were up, to be honest. Like,
So
we
fun.
were up to...
Really?
Yeah, we just, I don't know, we stayed up watching movies.
At midnight?
Lindsay, what have you got to do?
With
like,
your-
no one's going to school tomorrow. No one's going to... It was the weekend anyway. Like, what else am I doing?
But how did your kids stay awake?
Not my kids. Me and Henry. Sorry.
Well, when you said we, and we were talking
no,
about...
Henry and I waited for it, and that was it. We're like, oh my God, it's windy out there. And then that was it. But I had to chat to my kids about it as well, like the day before, being just like, listen, whatever happens, everybody, like, don't panic. Like, it's okay. We're together. It's not the end of the world. Don't panic. Anyway, can we go to a break? We've got look.
Take a break, Billy.
Take a break. We'll come
was
back.
just looking
We'll
at my
come back, and
notes.
when we come back, we're going to talk about how Lindsay's got a list, and we're going to check that list as well. But we're going to talk about how our husbands handle this whole thing. And we're back. The funny thing is, like, to us, we just press a button once and then twice. But to you, we actually went to a little break. Anyway,
It's literally like
we
2
did not
seconds.
move. Tell me how
Husbands.
Cameron prepared for this cyclone.
Oh my God, I wanted to punch him in the face. Okay, so if you were listening to our, I don't know which...
Chatterbox, that was last week, I believe. Yes.
When I saw your story about you doomsdaying, preparing, and it clicked into my head like, oh shit, yeah, like I better buy some
Doomsday
snacks.
prepare, yeah.
Well, fill up some water bottles. I
Yeah.
don't know, I better start doing stuff. So I started to do things such as the water and just moving things around the house, like from outside inside, blah, blah, blah. Cameron was not fazed at all. And I would send him a text message during the day. I know he's at work, but please. And I said, oh, like, where's the good flashlight? He told me where it was. And then I asked him a couple other questions, but then like nothing, crickets, which fine. Like,
And he's busy. He's got
he's
busy.
busy.
Like, I get
Oh
it.
my God. He's
I get
busy.
it.
Yes, fine.
We just need to say that.
Yeah. So a couple days go on, and I said to, because the lead up for the storm obviously was for a long period of time. Like,
Yes. And they were preparing us. Like, they weren't being like taking it easy.
Totally.
Like, they were literally like, you need to prepare.
Totally, absolutely. As in the news. Yeah, not the husbands.
The government.
So I said to Cameron the one night, I'm like, so like, are we going to talk about the hurricane? Like, are we going to talk about what we need to do? Because he hadn't mentioned anything to me except answered my question of like, where's the good flashlight? That was it. And he's like, oh, whoa. And I'm like,
Is that what he said?
Exactly.
Exact words?
Exactly. He said exactly like that. And I said, I've sent you some messages like, what should we do? What do you think about this? Blah, blah, blah. Like generators. Everyone's buying generators. I'm like, do we need to get a generator?
I'm surprised you don't have one already, to be honest. Like, you guys, seriously. Just saying.
Don't know. And I said, so I was asking him all these things, and he's reading through my messages. He's like, oh yeah, okay. So you've bought some ice. Fine. You filled up gas. Great. Yeah. And he's like, oh, well, I guess we're good. I'm like, excuse me, Fly. I'm like, so, okay, first of all, I didn't feel comfortable that it was just all on me. Like, whatever I had done was enough. Like, thank you. But he's actually saying that because he can't be fucked doing anything or thinking of, like, what we should be doing.
Well, there's that. But then also, I actually just don't think he was taking it seriously. Which so many other...
Absolutely not. Not at that point.
Not even husbands, but, like, people. So many people weren't taking it seriously.
Absolutely. And I was getting very perturbed with him because I'm like... Why are you making me seem like I'm overreacting when like there actually is a hurricane coming?
Like I'm not saying this, like the news is saying this. Yeah.
The weather system, Mother Nature is giving us warnings. Like it's happening.
Yeah.
It's coming. Yes, we don't know how bad it's going to be, but it is coming. So it was quite funny because you and a couple of my other close girlfriends were saying the same thing about their husbands. Like the one, I won't say her name, but she was fucking hilarious about her like stories about her husband. And I'm like, what is wrong with them? Like, don't look at us like we're idiots. Don't smirk at us like we're overreacting. Actually, no, I take that back. Henry was good with you.
Henry was actually really good.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I can tee in on him. Yeah, yeah.
So it was very frustrating. And then when I told him about filling up the tub, he's like, but I don't get it. Like, why are you going to fill up the tub? Like, what is that even going to do? I'm like, bitch, please. This fly is pissing me off. I am sorry, but I'm going to squash the shit out of that thing.
You come to me, Fly. She's very angry.
If you're watching, I don't know if you can see him. If you're listening, I'm so sorry that you can't hear.
It's literally just going round and round. And Lindsay, I think he's your little pet.
So annoying.
He's gone away now. I think he got the hint.
I'm going to kill him. Oh, did I get him?
I don't know.
Oh my God, I squashed him on your... Anyways.
Real live stuff.
True crime. Who ended up killing the fly? So it actually pissed me off. And then we had a couple friends come over, and both the husbands are like, oh, like making fun of us. And they did sound like that. And we're like, we're not panicking. There is a difference.
Yes.
We're not panicking. We are preparing.
And I was preparing from like they were warning us about a Thursday cyclone. I'd been preparing since Monday because I don't know why I'm such a doomsday preparer. Yeah. Like I honestly think that one day like the fart's gonna go. What did
the fart?
What the fuck? I meant to say that the sun is gonna do like a little fart and then we're all just gonna die. Like
you literally said fart, and I'm like, what? You're gonna fart and shit your pants?
No, I didn't have done that. No, I think that the sun is just gonna do like a little burp or a little like fart, and then we're just gonna all die. So I have this like feeling that like I'm such a doomsday preparer in my mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Whew, that was weird.
So funny.
Anyway, so to me, straight away on Monday, I'm like, oh, well, I know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But the closer Thursday comes, the more panicked people are going to get. So I started preparing on Monday. Henry was like, that's crazy. Like, chill. But actually, he didn't say that. He was just like, okay, well, you go do your thing, whatever. It's cool because we don't name call each other. We're very nice to each other. So he was like, cool, whatever. By Tuesday, he was on board.
Yeah.
He probably went a bit too far, bless his cotton socks. Love him. He boarded up one of our windows hard.
Okay.
But to be fair, again, from what you said, if the cyclone comes that way, that was the side of the house that was going to get hit, right?
See, I didn't even know which side it was coming from. You knew which side.
Yes, because that's the way it was spinning. And so it was going to come from the south, and that our house is north facing. So the south is the back of the house. So our kitchen windows and our bathroom window was going to get smashed. So he boarded up our toilet window.
Right.
And like put this film on our kitchen window. So he actually did a really good job. Like he went around the house and he secured everything, did the thing or whatever. So that was probably Tuesday, Wednesday. So it was fine. The thing that annoys me about the husbands and all the people, not just the husbands, because there was lots of wives out there who weren't really believing of what was happening either.
Oh, was there?
I assume so. I don't know.
Let's just say that.
Let's assume that there was a bunch of us out there who also weren't believing of their husbands. What annoys me is that they were kind of right, like in Brisbane. Like, because we were also preparing and then nothing happened. Like, now Cameron can go, oh, well.
No. Well, no.
Do you think?
They're not right. They're not right in the sense of the storm didn't come. The storm just changed. Alfred still came. Yeah. He landed differently, which you can't really predict. And
totally.
And the weather people were even saying, like, look, once he hits land, it could do this, it could do that.
That's right, because they were saying it will intensify.
Yes. They were giving all different types of scenarios. So I think the news, at least the Channel 7 news coverage that I was watching, was very transparent of like what could happen, multiple different scenarios. Yeah. So they can't say, oh, I was right, I told you so. Well, no, the storm still hit. It just hit differently than one of the scenarios. Can I just say one more thing? Because I knew it was on my list and I couldn't remember it, about Cameron. That was driving me nuts.
Oh, yes. We love you, Cammy.
Are you?
What was that?
I don't know. Choking on my love for him. I love him so much. So the morning of, Cameron... No, the morning...
Which one?
Yes.
Like Thursday?
Yes, it must have been Thursday. That's right. So Thursday morning, Cameron goes to the gym. Fine. If he wants to go to the gym and if that's what he wants to do. Yes.
Oh, I know. I had a voice note about this.
Yeah. Fine, go to the gym. If you want to kill yourself and get swept away, fine, whatever. A branch. My biggest worry was like when you're out on the roads like that, the branches of the trees, it's still really windy, can fall on you and kill you. It happens.
100%.
And that's like an actual worry of mine in a normal world. I'm not joking.
Let alone during a fucking cyclone.
Yeah, like it's a legit like anxiety of mine, legit. So when there's a storm, it's intensified, right? Mm-hmm. Fine, go out and die by a tree. Then he comes home and
we love you.
He has life insurance. It's fine. Oh my God. I'm just saying I'll be fine. No, I take that back. I love you very much, Cameron.
I mean, you'd be fine. You just miss him. Like oh my God.
Let's just move on. So he comes home and he says to Bane, my eldest, he's like, oh, hey, buddy. So Chris, the guy that trains them, that does boxing and footy training with them, said that he has an opening if we want to go to him around 1, 2 o'clock this afternoon. And I looked up at him. I'm like, what? Like today? And he's like, yeah. I said, no. You want to go out and die by a tree falling on you? Fine. You are not taking my baby out there.
You are not taking my child out there.
I could not believe what he suggested. So he's like, oh, whatever. And then I hear him. So I walk away. I'm like, no, not happening. he says to Bane, all right, buddy, how about we just go for a run around the block?
It's the same thing.
That's worse.
That's worse. Yeah, there's so many trees around here. And big trees too.
Or, yes, trees, absolutely, 100%. And the tree falling on the electrical wires that, like, I was so pissed off.
I think that's what was like, that was probably my biggest concern as well in terms of like moving around. Listen, times like this, I take the great opportunity that we have to just bunker down at home, stay inside with my family. I have no problems with that. I absolutely loved having my kids at home.
Yeah.
I loved having everyone under the same roof so I can just be like hermit together with everyone. So to me, that was perfect, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me for people to be moving around during times like that and like going to look at rivers rising and things like that. Yeah. But especially because you're right. It's not necessarily like the floods yet or the cyclone itself has arrived. Mm-hmm. The wind itself could pick shit up and throw it fucking anywhere. Totally. I just don't think people should be on roads. I don't think there should be like sticky beaking. I'm sure that they do, and that's fine. I get it. But the amount of videos I saw as well, the Gold Coast got smashed. So we're obviously Brisbane, we're inland. The Gold Coast got absolutely fucking smashed. The amount of people I saw taking their kids out to be in the giant waves. The amount of kids, I saw videos of kids being absolutely taken out by waves because they don't see it. Like they don't see the big swell that's coming. As it builds and builds and builds, it looks like just like a normal little wave that comes along, but then it just is so strong in the amount of water that follows.
But even then, it didn't look like a normal wave. It did not look like a normal wave. Did you see that angry shit? That was not a normal wave.
The first time I saw one of these videos, I was like, oh, look, that wave is about to catch up to those people. But the amount of water that actually came at them was so surprising to me.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine that people would have their fucking kids in that sort of like... And the people would put their kids in that position.
It flabbergasted me as well. There was another guy that was interviewed on the news that flew from New Zealand specifically to surf in the Gold Coast. And he said on the news, and I hate these men anyways, I'm like, grow some balls, that he's like, oh, my wife let me. I hate when people say that. If you have to get permission from your wife, like, I judge those marriages so hard. I'm just going to say right now.
Or husband.
Or husband, yes. Like if you have to,
anyone, a partner, right?
Totally,
yeah.
But like, why do you need permission?
Well, Cameron needed permission from you.
See, well, it's not really permission. It's more like hey, babe, this is what I'm thinking. What are your thoughts? But he was like, when this is like going down a different road. When people say somebody is invited away for a weekend, they all have to ask somebody.
Yeah.
I've got to ask somebody. I've got to ask my wife. It's not, obviously you talk to your partner about it. Obviously you're not just going to be like, hey, I'm leaving.
They say I have to ask to make sure we don't have any plans?
No. Right. Like they actually have to get permission. And then they talk about, anyways, that's another topic for another day.
Can we do that? Coercive control.
Maybe less down from that.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's take it down a notch. Yep.
To end it.
Let's.
Speaking of going to the surf.
Yep.
You could not pay me any amount of money to go in that foam.
Ew,
and the flood waters.
Yes.
You see all of this footage of people in the ocean foam and flood waters, like two separate things.
Yeah.
Do you know what is floating in that river foam? Like the flood water?
No.
Like poo.
Remember. Yeah. Oh. What? Where did you get that? Just like
sewage. It's a legit thing. Like in the flood waters, there's always sewage.
It's like you can't, like people are always going to be idiots and do idiot stuff. So I get it. And like you just kind of have to forgive them for being idiots because you know what else do you do? But like personally, I just
judge
don't get
them.
it. Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
I don't like judging people.
What? I'm trying not to yell in my mic.
You know how I roll.
But, oh my God.
When Lindsay and I drive places and she likes to judge things, I'm like, Lindsay, people make decisions based on their own feelings at the time. But it's kind of hard not to judge them when they're being fucking idiots.
But like the sea foam, like
ew, that's disgusting.
Like I just get itchy every time I saw that like footage. I'm like,
and there was foam. There was so much of it. It was like I don't know how to explain it. Like you'd have to see the footage. Yeah.
Anyway,
we survived. It was fine.
We're alive.
We got a bit of wind and a bit of rain. And lots of, like around us, we flood, like there's a lot of flood areas around us. A few streets flooded, but pretty much as soon as the rain went away, it all subsided. So it was fine.
We were lucky. We're lucky because there's lots of people out there still without power.
Exactly.
Still flooded, have lost everything.
Yes.
Super bad.
So if that's you and you're listening to just be cheered and entertained, we hope you're okay. I don't know how you're listening to this if you have no power. So thank you for watching with no power. You probably went to your mum and dad's or something and mooch off them. Listen, cool. Seriously, all the best to you and good luck. And
don't get permission from your partner to go away. Just talk to them
like
about
a normal
it.
person. If you have to get permission, you're doing it wrong.
And don't go surfing when there's a hurricane coming, for God's sake.
Take your children places.
Yeah.
What else, Lindsay? Quick.
Goodbye.
Thank you for joining us for this latest episode of Wine Chats podcast with Bildo and Lindelin. You can find us on our socials on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and you can listen to us on any favorite podcasting app or watch on YouTube.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, share, review, comment, send us some love. We absolutely love it.
Chat soon. Come on, Lenny. Chat soon.
Chat soon.
Chat soon.
We're not putting this in.
Come on.
Okay, we'll add in chat soon at the end.
Yeah.
Both of us?
Yeah, go
okay. Chat soon.